19 games so far this season, 13 goals, 5 assists, 122 minutes per goal, but 5 yellow cards means he's going to miss the Boxing Day game. It's, of course, Diego Costa. It's time to be outlandish and bold in our claims. I think we've been a little too nice with some of these things. At this moment, he is, hands down, the worst player to play against if you're a defender. The worst.
You know, it's funny. It's deja vu, which was also known as a glitch in the Matrix. 2 years ago, we said the exact same thing. And
yes.
What happened? Chelsea went on to win a Premier League. Now, that is a correlated statement, and there's a difference between correlated and being directly linked to each other. They might not have to do with each other. However, in this situation, once again, in a very strange off year last season, in between the Mourinho and Conte coming in, when Diego Costa is on form, not only is Diego Costa a major reason as to why Chelsea becomes the most dominant team in the Premier League over the last 3 years. It's also causes them to run away with title campaigns. I mean, Chelsea 2 years ago, in the end of January, where we still contemplated, I don't know if he's the best, but he's probably top. No, he's undoubtedly right now a top 3 striker in the world.
I think absolutely.
And I don't think there's an argument against it. Obviously there could be an argument.
No, you're going to put Suarez in there. You're going to put Aubameyang in there, Lewandowski. Like, there's a lot of players. But
Aubameyang, sure. Suarez, sure. He's playing better than Lewandowski is right now.
What I'm saying with just he's just a nightmare to play against. No matter what, this guy is always going to latch on to something. He's so strong. His movement against Manchester City was so unbelievably good that I was just like, he was moving like Chicharito moves off the ball with a figure that's like he just bulldozes people. It was remarkable. But some of the things you have to take into consideration is the transformation from last year. At this point last year, Chelsea were sitting 15th in the table. Diego Costa had scored merely 3 goals at that point, and he was contemplating moving. There was talks of him going to Atletico Madrid. There was talks of him being part of this shambolic explosion, which was Chelsea's team last year. He had more yellow cards to his name than the goals last year. He was just getting caught in all the off-the-ball antics, which is part of his game, which I get. Some people hate it, some people love it. I like it when it's at a certain level, like when he's trying to bite Gareth Barry, no. But when he's getting in there and he's ruffling some feathers, he's a nightmare. Look at some of the best strikers you've ever come up against. Alan Shearer would always be, he wasn't as, let's say Alan Shearer had a lot more professionalism than Diego Costa, but he was so physical, he was so hard to deal with. He would always make sure the defender knew he was there. He would go in and he'd hit him, he'd put his body on him, he was strong. And centre-backs in the Premier League have gotten softer. Unless you're looking at Robert Huth, who's just never going to stop. That guy could be roasted on a fire for hours and he'd still come out rock solid. He is not going to bow down to anyone. But Diego Costa is let's say he's refreshing for what strikers used to be in the Premier League. He's refreshing. And I love to see players thrive in doing so. I love to see nimble players like Aguero, who are very small, still be able to contribute and do well. But
I think part of the Costa problem is obviously his antics, his ability to get into trouble very quickly, and how easily he can be agitated by anybody at any given moment. But he's always been a short-fused player. That's part of, as you mentioned, his game. In addition to that, he's still keeping the ball low and in the corners.
Yes,
that hasn't changed. His fundamental way of scoring has been the same. It's just, I don't know what, and maybe you know more and you can tell me more. Last season,
he's a confidence player.
You need to give him a little boost, and and it started. I mean, the same thing as what happened in the Premier League when they won 2 years ago is that it started strong for Costa, and he was consistently strong from September to June.
Yes, very much so. And I don't want to get so ahead of ourselves, and I know there's Chelsea fans out there that are already running the headlines saying this is Antonio Conte. Let's not forget that when Diego Costa was scoring at will in his first season, he was running to Mourinho on the sideline, giving him a big hug, the same thing he just did at the weekend for Antonio Conte. So it's not a clear sign that Antonio Conte has fixed things. At the moment he has, and he's fixed Costa, but Costa is a confidence player. The biggest test will be in a game where Chelsea aren't on an 11-game winning streak, or whatever it is. They've won 11 straight, and they look dominant in the Premier League. It'll be when they come up against a tough team. But they have faced some turmoil. Like, they went 1-0 down to Tottenham, bounced back. He helped them. They went 1-0 down to Manchester City, bounced back, and they're proven time and time again that there's a lot of character in this Chelsea team in such an early point in their season. And that is down to Costa and it's down to Conte. His goal against Crystal Palace was typical. Into the back post, towered above his opponents, headed it, looked it across the goalkeeper. It could have been way more. I thought that Chelsea banged them a few times. But I think that this 1-0 consistent winning streak is what Chelsea are good at the moment, because it's not like they're struggling. They're confident. If they win 1-0 or win 5-1, it's all the same.
That doesn't matter. Leicester City won a Premier League winning 1-0.
Yes, they did. Arsenal, the Invincibles, used to sing this song.
1-0.
Where Arsenal win 1-0.
We're Arsenal, we win 1-0.
And they would kill for a 1-0 at the moment.
A W is a W, regardless.
Yes. Here is in the comments. Do you agree? Diego Costa, arguably one of the best strikers in the world. Jason said top 3. I'm saying he's up there, but I will go out and say that he is the hardest striker to deal with in the world.
Top 3.
Hit us in the comments.